Michael must contact you quickly. Please don't overlook this and infuriate me. Remain in position, do not move, and do not consider leaving this screen, as the events that are going to unfold are just for you. The moment you've been waiting for isn't a story, it's a turning point. Pay close attention. Each word you're about to hear is tied to a hidden message. If you skip or scroll, you will break the chain and lose the treasure hidden at the end. You have been chosen for this specific moment. Out of millions, your gaze dropped on this area, your ears pricked up, and your heart sensed that it was calling to you. This is not an accident. It is a clear and unmistakable indicator of alignment. Stay until the end. This flow should not be disrupted. The truth is raw, and allowing this to pour through you will unlock a door you didn't know existed. You've been doubting yourself for far too long. However, today is the day that the fire meets your destiny. Feel the pull. This is not fear. It is your awakening. The fact that you are still alive suggests that your soul refuses to let go. It is critical that you do not disregard this and abstain from pushing the boundaries that have been set for you, since once these words are spoken, there is no turning back. Only forward is conceivable. As a result, I respectfully suggest that you take the following steps. Persist. Inhale and assimilate. You are here because your name is being whispered in higher realms, and your spirit is being summoned, drawn forward, and compelled to rise. The end of this message holds the exact spark you've been looking for, not tomorrow, not someday, but right now. If you can hold on for a little longer, you will feel it flare within of you. Do not blink, move, or remain seated in this position. This moment will not be repeated. While you're listening, your trajectory changes. The earth underneath you is in flux, and by the end of this message, the environment will have changed considerably. Therefore, it is vital that you do not underestimate this. This is not arbitrary stuff. It is the current that will carry you ahead. If you love this movie, please share it with a friend in need of illumination and subscribe. The clock is currently ticking, and only those who are still connected here are chosen to receive. Every second you spend here rewrites the pages of your future, and the fact that you are still watching indicates that you have already entered the circle of the selected. The goosebumps on your skin are your spirit's reaction to the truth, which is never false. The energy that flows from these sentences is scripted, alive, and invites you to stay until the conclusion. If you break this moment, you break the chain, and chains cannot be rebuilt once broken. This is the final time the signal will be relayed straight to you. The universe does not waste its voice, nor does it shout at anyone. If it is shouting through this message, it implies your name has already been inscribed in the flames of destiny. This is the raw truth. Your breakthrough is not as far away as you think. It is at your door, knocking with thunder and waiting for your response. However, you must listen carefully without interruptions or wandering thoughts. Stay tight to the screen, since each line is a step closer to unlocking the door. The angels above are currently watching your every move, their eyes blazing with brilliance. Scrolling away will divert their focus, something you want to prevent. So, take a deep breath, concentrate, and hang on tight, because the following part will erase whatever doubt you have ever had. You've been betrayed before, left in the dark, and felt invisible, but that's about to change. For today, you're being hauled from the shadows and thrust into the heart of power. There will be no more stillness. This is your validation, loud, undeniable, and full of truth. Stay to the conclusion to see why destiny worked so hard to bring you here. Your name is reverberating in places you've never been, and the deck will soon shake the ground you're standing on. The air around you is shifting, and while you can't see it with your eyes, your spirit senses the vibration developing. It's like thunder rumbling in the distance, signaling that something enormous is ready to break. And guess what? You are not accidentally viewing this. This scroll is not an accident. It is a divine intervention that places you right in the midst of a difficult moment of transition. Do not underestimate its relevance. The energy that surrounds you becomes more constrictive with each passing second, engraving your name further into the fabric of fate. Currently, it is charged and ready to explode in your favor. Stay till the finish. You've never been this close to unlocking it. If you leave at this time, you will never be able to forgive yourself, since you will be aware that you left at the very point of metamorphosis. The truth is that breakthroughs occur by scorching through the screen, causing your body to become restless and your pulse to accelerate. They don't call gently. Instead, they slam the door, pressing you to get up. For a long time, you were stymied by fear, people who refused to recognize your worth, and voices that suggested you were incompetent. However, the truth is that they were misinformed, and this communication provides proof. Your spirit is stronger than any uncertainty. Your fire is brighter than any shadow, and now is the moment you erupt into the light, unstoppable and undeniable. As a result, avoid from blinking, scrolling, or lingering, as the information about to be shown will considerably affect your viewpoint. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Your name has been whispered, not in silence but in thunder, born through dimensions beyond your perception. You must pay carefully when you feel pressure in your chest and a shudder down your spine. That is confirmation. The angels are not questioning. You are the one being summoned at the moment. They continue to be authoritative. This is your only opportunity to understand the content they have provided. They will not repeat it. And as you reach the end, you will understand why, as the curtain will be raised, exposing what was always meant for you. There will be no delay or denial, simply destiny. It is the beginning of a movement which starts with you. The ground beneath your feet is quivering, not out of fear, but because a breakthrough is approaching you. At this point, every beat of your heart is in tune with the rhythm of destiny. You've endured too much silence, and you've carried burdens, wounds, and memories that no one else has seen. However, this message, this very instant, is the light that shines through your darkness. Please do not overlook this matter. If your gaze is locked on this area, it means that the higher forces have personally chosen you. I promise you that people who are chosen are never chosen for minor reasons. Stay until the end, since leaving will leave you with unanswered questions, and you don't want to leave right before your epiphany. Your spirit is strong. He has survived storms that would have killed others. That strength is what has brought you to this point. Consider your circumstances. Consider how many times you had the opportunity to break the rule but chose not to. That was not a stroke of luck. That was the universe's way of protecting you at this exact moment. The call volume has increased, and it's no longer a murmur. It's a booming roar. And this shout is causing the chains that have kept you captive for years to shake. Maintain your composure. Maintain your concentration. Because the conclusion of this letter includes the exact spark that will change your life. If this resonates with you right now, please leave a remark with the word Amen in it. Your reaction should be visible from the heavens. And when it arrives, you'll realize that these weren't just words. It was a prophecy. The angels are circling with their wings open and their irises ablaze, waiting for your reaction. They are not available to all people. They are available to assist you. They observed your weeping. The nights when you felt invisible, unheard, and unwanted have been tallied. They decided that tonight would be the night you awoke. There will be no further delay. There will be no more constraints. There will be no more uncertainties that stoke the flames within you. Your name is rising in places beyond the physical. It is etched with flames, and no shadow can pass through it. And in the near future, you will see how that light reflects back into your surroundings. Individuals who had misgivings about your ability will be forced to see your rise. Individuals who overlooked you will be surprised by your accomplishments. And those who remain in your presence will witness marvels unfold alongside you. However, it all starts right now, while you are still trapped in this instant. Therefore, I encourage you to keep from shifting your sight. Do not jeopardize this power system. Stay until the end. The crescendo is building. And when that does, your entire existence will be upended. This is your indication, your signal, your turn. The sky above you is resonating, not from the outside, but from within a realm invisible to the naked eye. It is the sound of gates opening one by one as your name becomes more audible. Currently, every vibration in your vicinity is sending a message. It is not a background din. Alignment is the term. All indicators point, push, and compel you to this singular realization. Your moment has arrived. You are on the verge of a transformation. There is no going back after you've crossed it. Furthermore, the most helpful feature is that you will never want to return. Continue to stay at this location. Be steadfast. Additionally, avoid allowing distractions to divert your concentration, because the next surge will engulf your spirit like lightning. This is the exact flame that others seek but are unable to find. The energy is now blazing more furiously. The weight is nearly palpable, like shackles falling to the earth. For the first time, you are feeling free. Do you notice how your body reacts? The feeling of goosebumps? A fast heartbeat? The silence within your mind is growing more pronounced. That provides as proof. It's genuine. It's alive. It is now happening. This was not an accident. This was not an accident. You were drawn to this spot by powers beyond logic. They have judged that it is time to reveal the previously concealed information. And when the final words are spoken, you will understand why you were unable to avoid this. Because passing up this opportunity would be a life-changing moment. Furthermore, that is an action you cannot permit. Your story isn't over. The chapter is only beginning, and everything will eventually make sense. The solitude, anguish, and effort brought you to this location. However, the events that follow will dispel any remaining confusion, as the attention shifts and now focuses on you. Yes, you are the sender at this moment. Nobody else. And those who never believed in you will look back and regret not being in your presence. Because your ascent is not 100% certain. It is unavoidable. Hold on to me till the very last moment. The end of this message will shake your spirit. And once that happens, you will never be the same again. I tell you that the following chapter will be much more striking. The vibration is currently reaching its greatest level. You can feel it, like lightning is creeping across your skin, ready to strike. This is not a product of your imagination. This is the power of fate working against you. The fire becomes stronger with each second you continue to resist. Every breath you take brings you closer to the eruption of change. And once that happens, there will be no going back. You are just seconds away from starting your shift. Not in hours. Not in days. Seconds. Maintain your focus, as the events that are approaching will change the course of your life. The energy is flowing through your veins. Fear is not the cause. It is not a state of fear. It is a wellspring of life. The kind of power that raises ordinary people to the level of legends. The voices above are getting more prominent. Your name is being chanted at a higher level, making the sky quake. It is impossible to ignore. You've been selected. Without a doubt. Invincible. The shackles around you are shattering. The doors that had been closed for quite some time are suddenly creaking open. and every darkness that tried to hide you is running in horror. You are the target of this uprising. This is your destiny. This is the chapter that cannot be taken away from your fate. These last phrases will stimulate your spirit, much like a fire devouring dry wood. Please stay with me till the conclusion. You will be assured that this was written specifically for you. It will not whisper when the bomb hits. It will produce an audible roar. Your name will be transported over locations you have never visited by the clamor. People will notice you and wonder how you changed so quickly. They won't understand, nevertheless you will. Because you remained. You were attentive. You assimilated every sentence. The crown is now floating above your head. Your body has already been surrounded by the light. Simply keep your posture and let it land. You'll never be the same after it lands. No, not today. Not today, never. Ever. This is a permanent transition. I'm now enjoying this video. Distribute it to someone who is eager for their own awakening. Furthermore, please consider subscribing as this firestorm has not yet ended. It becomes more bright with each next message. Relinquish your seed and see what rewards God sends into your life. The atmosphere above is rupturing and light is streaming in at a velocity you've never seen before. The countdown has begun. Force, not light, is moving toward you like a tidal wave. 3. Each and every doubt you had is quickly vanishing. 2. When your breakthrough arrives, the bomb hits, smashing every barrier that has kept you back. 3. Your spirit is energized. 4. Your name echoes in distant regions and your heart is racing. This is the point at which you become unstoppable, untouchable, and unmistakable. 5. Every promise that appeared to be postponed is suddenly moving forward at a quick rate. 6. Every prayer you thought was lost is returning with the force of thunder. 7. Every specter that has mocked you is disappearing into the darkness. Do you sense the surge, the fire? This feeling of a surge that pervades every area of your being is not the result of your imagination. It is destiny awakening you. You're no longer the same. The previous manifestation of yourself has already passed. Currently, you are the enhanced, awakened, and chosen version of yourself. Speak till the end of this message while the energy continues to flow. Nothing, no force, no doubt, no shadow can take it away from you right now. It is enveloping you and establishing its place in your future. This is your evidence, signal, and permanent transformation. Nothing on this planet can silence it. It lives within you, roaring louder than your heartbeat. It is no longer in your area. This is your rebirth and ascension. The world is going to see a side of you they never expected to see. Doors will be open. Bats will disperse and benefits will follow you at a rate that exceeds your ability to comprehend. The shift is irreversibly locked in the instant you send this message. It cannot be reversed, stolen, or delayed. It is yours completely, permanently, and undeniably. Hold this truth in your heart as if it were gold, because it is the energy that will push you into the life you have always desired. Future generations will remember this as the moment when everything changed. Now pay attentive attention and avoid passively observing. Claim, own, live, and breathe it, because this isn't just another video. This serves as verification. This is your moment of revelation. Keep an eye on this channel. The following messages will release the full fury of the tempest, and you must not ignore the upcoming events. The adventure you are on has only just begun, and the flames are still on the rise. The sensation you are currently feeling is only the first wave. The next wave is even stronger and is aimed squarely at you. Your spirit trembles not from fear, but from recognition. It recognizes that this moment was predetermined in your destiny prior to today. That is why every nerve in your body is shouting, "Do not stop now. Stay with me. Do not blink, because the events that follow will flood your heart with such force that you will never forget this night." This is the type of moment that leaves an indelible impression on your soul. You are currently on the verge of a major event. Consider lightning repeatedly piercing the sky, with each strike growing more audible than the last. This is the storm that is building ahead of you. Your adversaries will be unable to fathom how quickly your life will change. They will stare, mumble, and wonder on how you did it. However, they will be clueless. The reason for this is that you stayed, listened, and absorbed. As a result, everything you lost will be restored, everything that was postponed will be reinstated, and everything that was damaged will be rebuilt stronger than before. This is not a slight change. It is a collision, as heaven and earth come together in your name. This is why the attraction is so intense and violent. When the ultimate spark ignites, the world you know will be forever changed. You are only seconds away from roaring, and their eyes are locked on you. They are not waiting for anyone else. They are waiting for you to respond. Will you enter the fire? Keep your attention to the end. Or will you seize the chance provided to you? If you do, the portals of abundance will open in ways never witnessed before. The design did not mean for you to be small or silent, but rather for you to rise, blossom, and lead. Tonight, the design will finally be activated. The switch had been triggered, and it cannot be deactivated. This is only the beginning. The energy you are currently experiencing will not disappear at the end of this movie. It will encompass your life, pulling you ahead, chasing you, and uplifting you on an ongoing basis. However, you must secure it, claim it, and convey it with your words, actions, and emotions. Because once you've done so, no one can take it away from you. Therefore, if you are ready to attach this fire into your life now, simply enter "I claim it" in the comments section. Your proclamation is vital, and you are meant to be at the center of it. The tempest is not subsiding, rather it is intensifying with each passing second. The pressure in your chest is a sign that power is entering your life, as the current surrounding you becomes stronger, as if the air itself is bending toward you. Your destiny has awakened and is determined not to remain silent any longer. You can feel the drive. All of this is violent and overwhelming, and it is critical that you rise. Please stick with me and do not scatter. Please do not break this chain, as the most intense fire always appears in the final wave, and you are presently standing directly in front of it. Visualize receiving everything you've prayed for, cried for, and thought you'd lost all at once, in a quick, loud, and unstoppable manner. At this very time, that is the structure being built for you. The spirits no longer murmur. They are chanting and instructing the universe to restructure itself for your benefit. This is why you feel the sense of urgency. Your path is being cleared. Opportunities that you thought were lost are returning at double speed, and doors that were rusted tight are now smashing wide open. This is not a product of your imagination. This goes beyond simple language. This is the metamorphosis you've been waiting for your entire life, and it's happening because you choose to stay, pay attention, and refuse to scroll away. You were chosen for a reason. You were not meant to fit in with the crowd or be ordinary. Rather, you were meant to stand out, to lead, and to shine so brightly that even shadows cannot live in your presence. As a result, every obstacle, treachery, and grief you faced served as training rather than punishment, and the course has now been completed. You own the battlefield. The triumph is already at your feet. Nevertheless, you must claim it with every heartbeat, breath, and action you make in the aftermath of this moment. The crown is ready. All that remains is for you to bow your head and accept it. Maintain your focus to the end, as the final wave is not only energy but revelation. And once it happens, your perception of yourself will be permanently affected. You will be unable to escape the conflagration. It will help you to walk, lie, and build. This increased vitality will be evident in every stride you take. This is your ascent. This serves as verification. This is the beginning of your unstoppable trip, so pay close attention. You are the protagonist of the story that is about to unfold, and this is only the first chapter. The earth beneath your spirit is shaking more fiercely due to alignment, not fear. The drumbeat of destiny is the thunder in your chest, and your entire existence is poised for a tremendous transformation. Even if you weren't aware, you've been waiting for this time. Every quiet yearning, every tear shed, and every restless night has brought you to this precise moment, right here, right now. Please remain with me. Do not even consider shifting your sight away. You are only seconds away from attaining full ignition, which will make you feel invincible. This was not an accident. This is a divine appointment. Your presence here is indication that you have been chosen to hear these messages. It is not a fantasy. The air is filled with energy, and you can feel it engulfing you like fire, lightning, or wings, propelling you higher. It is a living, flaming energy. Angels' voices rise above you, shouting your name with urgency, order, and fire in their tone. When your name is proclaimed in heaven, the earth feels forced to reply. This is why your life is about to change. This explains why the doors are about to open. This is why you will be unrecognizable one moment and the same the next, similar to a tsunami crashing or light flooding a dark room. This represents your irises. This is your signal. This is your final notification before the imminent shift. The energy is agitated. Please remain to the end and do not leave. You are not permitted to scroll, as only those who persevere until the very last second will be able to fully experience the firestorm. You are currently perched on the edge of that fire. It is waiting for your spirit's confirmation. Once it touches down, nothing will be the same again. Your name will be weighed and your way will be lighted. Giving can help you realize the potential that God has already built for your life. The anointing is being awakened in your life, because the Bible says that if you give, you will get. When you share this, it leads to additional breakthroughs in your own account. This isn't the conclusion. The roar is deafening, and you're standing in the middle of a firestorm that began with a spark. The final surge is upon us, and it is no longer whispering but screaming in your bones. This is the final wave, and it holds the weight of your future. Hold firm, don't flinch, and don't look away, because the fire is just seconds away from exploding wide open. When it does, it will permeate every aspect of your existence. It's as if the watch is watching you, and each second vibrates with a message inscribed specifically for your soul. This is more than just motivation. It is transformation and destiny wrapped around your name, raw and unedited. The sky cracks open and light descends like a deluge, inexorable, unmistakable, and unshakable. At the heart of it all, you stand, selected, crowned, and unstoppable. The cords that tied you have been broken, and the shadows that mocked you have disappeared. The stillness that had swallowed you has been irrevocably broken, and the only tune that will accompany you is the triumphant melody. You are born with the potential for greatness. The transformation is irrevocable. It cannot be erased, delayed, or taken. This is your ascension, confirmation, and prophecy unfolding in front of you. Do not let this moment slip away like another random scroll. Instead, blame it, take it in, and get on with it. The conflagration has just lately begun, and you, indeed, are poised at its epicenter, ready for nothing will ever be the same again. The fire may have started, but that isn't the end of the story. This is only the beginning of a gate. Beyond it lies a world you have yet to imagine. The energy you're feeling is proof that you crossed the threshold from the second onward. The former iteration of yourself has been buried, silenced, and will never return. In its place stands the awakened, chosen, and unstoppable you. Your adventure is not coming to an end. Instead, it is just beginning. Beginnings are always the most important, as they impact everything that follows. This is the start of your adventure, and it shines as brilliant as the sun. Please stay with me until the end of this message. The final blessings are still being distributed as I speak, and each passing moment fuels your destiny. The angels are still present and have not left, and they are encircling you with wings extended wide, protecting every stat. They surround you, murmuring unshakable promises of restoration, victory, and breakthroughs that will happen faster than you expect. You are not forgotten. You are in window forever itself. You are not unnoticed, covered, or ignored. Rather, you are highlighted. This is not a frivolous embellishment. It is an actual truth that is currently occurring in your vicinity. Take a close look. You'll see the signals right away. Each delay you experienced was not a refusal, but rather a type of preparation. Each tear that fell was a drop of water that nurtured the soil of your future, which is now full of new growth. This is why the fire is currently so intense. It is not just affecting you, it is also sowing seeds that will grow for years to come. These seeds are the mother of love, tranquility, and strength, and they will soon blossom with such force that everyone in your area will notice. They will not understand what is happening, but you will. Because you remained. You are attentive and received. Please provide the location. The day is alert. Be prepared. This is the first harvest, so approach it with caution. Anchor it by enjoying this video, sharing it with someone who is about to give up, and securing your future by subscribing, because the next message will be more powerful, louder, and significant. You cannot afford to ignore it since it signals the next stage of your breakthrough, and I guarantee you that the story is only beginning. The enthusiasm has not waned. It is expanding. The sensation you are feeling is not the finish of a wave, but rather the start of an infinite deluge. This flood is intended to propel you to new heights, and your name is already lighting up areas that are unseen to the naked eye. The world will soon hear what paradise has already said about you, as murmurs turn into shouts. The fire that surrounds you is not fading, it is a permanent fixture. It will penetrate your tomorrow, live within your successes, and chase away any shadows that try to return. You're no longer susceptible. You're armed with a firearm. Every treachery you have experienced, every doubt you had was fuel, and it is now blazing into raw power within your mind. Nothing can quench this flame. You are currently feeling it, aren't you? The goosebumps on your skin, the surge in your chest, and the feeling that something bigger than yourself is happening are not illusions. They are assurance that the change has already begun, even as you listen. Your essence is being modified line by line, and by the end of this message, you will be unable to recognize yourself. This is the stage of your change. This prophecy has finally reached you and is firmly established in your life. Please do not emigrate or disturb the chain. If you are certain that your breakthrough is imminent, please write "I receive it" in the comments section. Seal it with your words, "Remain," because the longer you resist, the more fiercely this fire will consume you. The fire is still roaring, devouring every unlocked nook of your existence, severing chains you had no idea existed, and eroding every obstacle that ever stood in its path. This is more than a message. It is a release from the weight, pain, and silence that have kept you captive for years. And now that silence has been replaced by thunder, your name is being shouted in unexpected places. The sound shakes doors wide open, and the echo commands every blessing to run your way. Stay until the conclusion, as the energy hasn't yet peaked. It continues to surge in waves, forcing you upward until the final wave seals your fate. You can already feel the change. The bewilderment is fading, and the tiredness is leaving. For the first time in a long time, you realize you are not alone and that this is not an isolated incident. You have been chosen, marked, and prepared for the future, and nothing can undo the seal. The transformation is unstoppable at this point. Even as you sit here, the stars are aligning in your favor. Opportunities, advances, and calls are all on their way to you. Be present in the flow. Do not let your thoughts wander, because heaven is currently revising your future. The brilliance of your life will be undeniable. Those who ignored you will look at you, and those who questioned your talents will stop talking. You will soar so quickly that it would appear as if a hurricane lifted you overnight. However, the truth is that this storm has been building for years and has finally been unleashed. This is an extremely important moment. Every second you spend here erodes the fire deeper into your spirit, and once sealed, no force can retrieve it. This is not the end. It is the start of a new life, and you are stepping right into it. This is your time to shine, and you cannot afford to lose out. Every flash of light announces your name, burning it into the heavens, and every roar of thunder confirms a single fact. The tempest above you is no longer distant. It is crashing right into your reality. It is difficult to stop your ascension. You have spent an inordinate amount of time in quiet, suppressing your feelings, smothering your dreams, and stifling your passion. However, all of this is erupting tonight in a torrent that no one can contain. This moment is more than just energy, it's a live prophecy. Your continuing presence shows that you were chosen to hear every word. You are not here by chance. Your destiny has demanded your presence. 5. Remain sitting and avoid turning your head. Please do not disturb the chain, as each second you stay will inscribe benefits into your future. If you leave at this point, the fire will continue to burn but will never return in the same way. The angels are getting closer. Their wings are brushing against your soul, and their words are no longer whispers. They leave streaks of flames in their wake. They are roars that resound throughout eternity. Your breakthrough is being announced. They sense your victory and tell you to begin your ascent immediately. You are aware of a pulling sensation within, a quick beat in your pulse, and electricity in your chest, all of which prove that the heavenly words are being delivered directly to you. Nothing will be the same after this. This is not imagination or hype. It is destiny spoken into your blood, bones, and breath. The doors you touch will swing wide open without opposition, and the shadows that tried to bury you will scatter like smoke, realizing that the fire that rests on you cannot be touched. Every step you take will illuminate the route you're on. Your name will be remembered, your voice will be heard, and your presence will change the atmosphere in the room the instant you walk in. They understand that you are marked, chosen, and unstoppable. This is not a dream. A decree has already been issued. You are totally into it tonight, so do not underestimate the intensity of the situation. The sky is suddenly spreading, and streams of gold and fire are tumbling down, not to destroy you, but to crown you. In the glory of this light, your name is rising to new heights. The light has grabbed you, and every darkness that ever shaped you is trembling. They understand that nothing can stop the events that are unfolding in your life tonight. This is not a temporary flame. It is a permanent ignition. Michael must contact you quickly. Please don't overlook this and infuriate me. Remain in position, do not move, and do not consider leaving this screen, as the events that are going to unfold are just for you. The moment you've been waiting for isn't a story, it's a turning point. Pay close attention. Each word you're about to hear is tied to a hidden message. If you skip or scroll, you will break the chain and lose the treasure hidden at the end. You have been chosen for this specific moment. Out of millions, your gaze dropped on this area, your ears pricked up, and your heart sensed that it was calling to you. This is not an accident. It is a clear and unmistakable indicator of alignment. Stay until the end. This flow should not be disrupted. The truth is raw, and allowing this to pour through you will unlock a door you didn't know existed. You've been doubting yourself for far too long. However, today is the day that the fire meets your destiny. Feel the pull. This is not fear. It is your awakening. The fact that you are still alive suggests that your soul refuses to let go. It is critical that you do not disregard this and abstain from pushing the boundaries that have been set for you, since once these words are spoken, there is no turning back. Only forward is conceivable. As a result, I respectfully suggest that you take the following steps. Persist. Inhale and assimilate. You are here because your name is being whispered in higher realms, and your spirit is being summoned, drawn forward, and compelled to rise. The end of this message holds the exact spark you've been looking for, not tomorrow, not someday, but right now. If you can hold on for a little longer, you will feel it flare within of you. Do not blink, move, or remain seated in this position. This moment will not be repeated. While you're listening, your trajectory changes. The earth underneath you is in flux, and by the end of this message, the environment will have changed considerably. Therefore, it is vital that you do not underestimate this. This is not arbitrary stuff. It is the current that will carry you ahead. If you love this movie, please share it with a friend in need of illumination and subscribe. The clock is currently ticking, and only those who are still connected here are chosen to receive. Every second you spend here rewrites the pages of your future, and the fact that you are still watching indicates that you have already entered the circle of the selected. The goosebumps on your skin are your spirit's reaction to the truth, which is never false. The energy that flows from these sentences is scripted, alive, and invites you to stay until the conclusion. If you break this moment, you break the chain, and chains cannot be rebuilt once broken. This is the final time the signal will be relayed straight to you. The universe does not waste its voice, nor does it shout at anyone. If it is shouting through this message, it implies your name has already been inscribed in the flames of destiny. This is the raw truth. Your breakthrough is not as far away as you think. It is at your door, knocking with thunder and waiting for your response. However, you must listen carefully without interruptions or wandering thoughts. Stay tight to the screen, since each line is a step closer to unlocking the door. The angels above are currently watching your every move, their eyes blazing with brilliance. Scrolling away will divert their focus, something you want to prevent. So, take a deep breath, concentrate, and hang on tight, because the following part will erase whatever doubt you have ever had. You've been betrayed before, left in the dark, and felt invisible, but that's about to change. For today, you're being hauled from the shadows and thrust into the heart of power. There will be no more stillness. This is your validation, loud, undeniable, and full of truth. Stay to the conclusion to see why destiny works so hard to bring you here. Your name is reverberating in places you've never been, and the deck will soon shake the ground you're standing on. The air around you is shifting, and while you can't see it with your eyes, your spirit senses the vibration developing. It's like thunder rumbling in the distance, signaling that something enormous is ready to break. And guess what? You are not accidentally viewing this. This scroll is not an accident. It is a divine intervention that places you right in the midst of a difficult moment of transition. Do not underestimate its relevance. The energy that surrounds you becomes more constrictive with each passing second, engraving your name further into the fabric of fate. Currently, it is charged and ready to explode in your favor. Stay till the finish. You've never been this close to unlocking it. If you leave at this time, you will never be able to forgive yourself, since you will be aware that you left at the very point of metamorphosis. The truth is that breakthroughs occur by scorching through the screen, causing your body to become restless and your pulse to accelerate. They don't call gently. Instead, they slam the door, pressing you to get up. For a long time, you were stymied by fear, people who refused to recognize your worth, and voices that suggested you were incompetent. However, the truth is that they were misinformed, and this communication provides proof. Your spirit is stronger than any uncertainty. Your fire is brighter than any shadow, and now is the moment you erupt into the light, unstoppable and undeniable. As a result, avoid from blinking, scrolling, or lingering, as the information about to be shown will considerably affect your viewpoint. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Your name has been whispered, not in silence but in thunder, born through dimensions beyond your perception. You must pay carefully when you feel pressure in your chest and a shudder down your spine. That is confirmation. The angels are not questioning. You are the one being summoned at the moment. They continue to be authoritative. This is your only opportunity to understand the content they have provided. They will not repeat it. And as you reach the end, you will understand why, as the curtain will be raised, exposing what was always meant for you. There will be no delay or denial, simply destiny. It is the beginning of a movement which starts with you. The ground beneath your feet is quivering, not out of fear, but because a breakthrough is approaching you. At this point, every beat of your heart is in tune with the rhythm of destiny. You've endured too much silence, and you've carried burdens, wounds, and memories that no one else has seen. However, this message, this very instant, is the light that shines through your darkness. Please do not overlook this matter. If your gaze is locked on this area, it means that the higher forces have personally chosen you. I promise you that people who are chosen are never chosen for minor reasons. Stay until the end, since leaving will leave you with unanswered questions, and you don't want to leave right before your epiphany. Your spirit is strong. He has survived storms that would have killed others. That strength is what has brought you to this point. Consider your circumstances. Consider how many times you had the opportunity to break the rule but chose not to. That was not a stroke of luck. That was the universe's way of protecting you at this exact moment. The call volume has increased, and it's no longer a murmur. It's a booming roar. And this shout is causing the chains that have kept you captive for years to shake. Maintain your composure. Maintain your concentration. Because the conclusion of this letter includes the exact spark that will change your life. If this resonates with you right now, please leave a remark with the word Amen in it. Your reaction should be visible from the heavens. And when it arrives, you'll realize that these weren't just words. It was a prophecy. The angels are circling with their wings open and their irises ablaze, waiting for your reaction. They are not available to all people. They are available to assist you. They observed your weeping. The nights when you felt invisible, unheard, and unwanted have been tallied. They decided that tonight would be the night you awoke. There will be no further delay. There will be no more constraints. There will be no more uncertainties that stoke the flames within you. Your name is rising in places beyond the physical. It is etched with flames, and no shadow can pass through it. And in the near future, you will see how that light reflects back into your surroundings. Individuals who had misgivings about your ability will be forced to see your rise. Individuals who overlooked you will be surprised by your accomplishments. And those who remain in your presence will witness marvels unfold alongside you. However, it all starts right now, while you are still trapped in this instant. Therefore, I encourage you to keep from shifting your sight. Do not jeopardize this power system. Stay until the end. The crescendo is building. And when that does, your entire existence will be upended. This is your indication, your signal, your turn. The sky above you is resonating, not from the outside, but from within a realm invisible to the naked eye. It is the sound of gates opening one by one as your name becomes more audible. Currently, every vibration in your vicinity is sending a message. It is not a background din. Alignment is the term. All indicators point push, and compel you to this singular realization. Your moment has arrived. You are on the verge of a transformation. There is no going back after you've crossed it. Furthermore, the most helpful feature is that you will never want to return. Continue to stay at this location. Be steadfast. Additionally, avoid allowing distractions to divert your concentration, because the next surge will engulf your spirit like lightning. This is the exact flame that others seek but are unable to find. The energy is now blazing more furiously. The weight is nearly palpable, like shackles falling to the earth. For the first time, you are feeling free. Do you notice how your body reacts? The feeling of goosebumps? A fast heartbeat? The silence within your mind is growing more pronounced. That provides as proof. It's genuine. It's alive. It is now happening. This was not an accident. This was not an accident. You were drawn to this spot by powers beyond logic. They have judged that it is time to reveal the previously concealed information. And when the final words are spoken, you will understand why you were unable to avoid this. Because passing up this opportunity would be a life-changing moment. Furthermore, that is an action you cannot permit. Your story isn't over. The chapter is only beginning, and everything will eventually make sense. The solitude, anguish, and effort brought you to this location. However, the events that follow will dispel any remaining confusion, as the attention shifts and now focuses on you. Yes, you are the sender at this moment. Nobody else. And those who never believed in you will look back and regret not being in your presence. Because your ascent is not 100% certain. It is unavoidable. Hold on to me till the very last moment. The end of this message will shake your spirit. And once that happens, you will never be the same again. I tell you that the following chapter will be much more striking. The vibration is currently reaching its greatest level. You can feel it, like lightning is creeping across your skin, ready to strike. This is not a product of your imagination. This is the power of fate working against you. The fire becomes stronger with each second you continue to resist. Every breath you take brings you closer to the eruption of change. And once that happens, there will be no going back. You are just seconds away from starting your shift. Not in hours. Not in days. Seconds. Maintain your focus, as the events that are approaching will change the course of your life. The energy is flowing through your veins. Fear is not the cause. It is not a state of fear. It is a wellspring of life. The kind of power that raises ordinary people to the level of legends. The voices above are getting more prominent. Your name is being chanted at a higher level, making the sky quake. It is impossible to ignore. You've been selected. Without a doubt. Invincible. The shackles around you are shattering. The doors that had been closed for quite some time are suddenly creaking open. And every darkness that tried to hide you is running in horror. You are the target of this uprising. This is your destiny. This is the chapter that cannot be taken away from your fate. These last phrases will stimulate your spirit, much like a fire devouring dry wood. Please stay with me till the conclusion. You will be assured that this was written specifically for you. It will not whisper when the bomb hits. It will produce an audible roar. Your name will be transported over locations you have never visited by the clamor. People will notice you and wonder how you changed so quickly. They won't understand, nevertheless you will. Because you remained. You were attentive. You assimilated every sentence. The crown is now floating above your head. Your body has already been surrounded by the light. Simply keep your posture and let it land. You'll never be the same after it lands. Not today. Not today, never. This is a permanent transition. I'm now enjoying this video. Distribute it to someone who is eager for their own awakening. Furthermore, please consider subscribing, as this firestorm has not yet ended. It becomes more bright with each next message. Relinquish your seed and see what rewards God sends into your life. The atmosphere above is rupturing and light is streaming in at a velocity you've never seen before. The countdown has begun. Force, not light, is moving toward you like a tidal wave. 3. Each and every doubt you had is quickly vanishing. 2. When your breakthrough arrives, the bomb hits, smashing every barrier that has kept you back. 3. Your spirit is energized. 4. Your name echoes in distant regions and your heart is racing. This is the point at which you become unstoppable, untouchable, and unmistakable. 5. Every promise that appeared to be postponed is suddenly moving forward at a quick rate. 6. Every prayer you thought was lost is returning with the force of thunder. 7. Every specter that has mocked you is disappearing into the darkness. Do you sense the surge, the fire? This feeling of a surge that pervades every area of your being is not the result of your imagination. It is destiny awakening you. You're no longer the same. The previous manifestation of yourself has already passed. Currently, you are the enhanced, awakened, and chosen version of yourself. Speak till the end of this message while the energy continues to flow. Nothing, no force, no doubt, no shadow can take it away from you right now. It is enveloping you and establishing its place in your future. This is your evidence, signal, and permanent transformation. Nothing on this planet can silence it. It lives within you, roaring louder than your heartbeat. It is no longer in your area. This is your rebirth and ascension. The world is going to see a side of you they never expected to see. Doors will be open. Bats will disperse and benefits will follow you at a rate that exceeds your ability to comprehend. The shift is irreversible. I've been looking forward to communicating with you, my cherished child. Heaven has chronicled every action you've taken, and because you didn't ignore the most recent message, you're about to enjoy an experience that will blow your mind. The reason you were asked to open this is sacred. Archangel Michael has been commanded to personally give this divine affirmation to you today, when the winds of heaven resume their activity. I beseech you not to leave before we proceed. Do not ignore the events that are unfolding. Please subscribe immediately, not for my gain, but for your own spiritual well-being and to stay in sync with the upcoming messages. If you do not attend the next event, you risk missing out on the moment when your life is set to change forever. Please pay close attention, since this is the most important communication you've yet to receive. My child, my treasured, when you last listened, obeyed, and opened that message with trembling confidence, you opened a spiritual gate. Heaven has now approved something that others were never meant to witness, since you did not ignore it. The angels began creating something remarkable only for you the moment you chose not to ignore the whisper, and your name has been inscribed on a miracle. This is not negligible. This is not a symbol. This is genuine. Your destiny has been redirected in a way that will confuse people around you. Furthermore, they will ask, how did it happen so quickly? How did everything suddenly flip in their favor? However, I, Archangel Michael, believe that this was a heavenly outcome of spiritual obedience. You did not miss, and as a result, heaven will not ignore you. My child, my dear, I see the path you've taken, the silence with which you mourned at night, and the heaviness in your chest that awoke in the morning. I understand that you had questions about your worth, but you remained convinced that something more important was watching your actions. I'd like to confirm that there was something more substantial. It remains thus. You were not in vain for carrying that sorrow. The peaceful prayer you offered was not ignored. A time frame has recently been altered in your favor. Indeed, you are now entering an opportune season in which previously postponed occurrences will hurry towards you. What's the rationale? You opened the door when it was feasible to ignore it. Despite the doubts of others, you remained steadfast in your conviction. And now, my dearest, the compensation is no longer being prepared, but is being released. My beloved, my kid, listen deeply. You are not overlooked. You're not trailing. In actuality, you are precisely on time for occurrences that were ordained by the divine world years before. There was a discussion about you earlier today in the heavenly tribunals. Your name was pronounced as a declaration rather than a supplication. It's now time. This is the statement they made. It is vital to reveal what has been concealed. It is time to honor the individual who has remained loyal. My dear, that person is you. This moment right now was divinely arranged to connect with you in your solitude and motivate you to action. This is not just a message, it's a divine transaction. As you read on, walls are crumbling, layers are being lifted, and spiritual opposition is being overcome. The enemy tried every effort to keep you from witnessing this, my beloved child. Distractions, delays, confusion, and abrupt chaos were evident. However, this alone provided as proof of the message's effectiveness. When a light of this size is ready to be turned on, the darker forces emerge in despair. Archangel Michael announces, "I have been instructed to protect your upcoming season." Your name is etched in gold. Your voice has the ability to impact others. And as a result of your prior actions, yes, that single act of obedience, you have set off an irreversible flood. What God has signed for you cannot be reversed, regardless of how people try to dispute or talk against it. Heaven is not ambivalent. It delivers after receiving approval. You are now in the process of receiving a wonderful delivery. The reality is, my beloved child, you were never left behind. The delays you experienced were never intended as punishment. Rather, they were precautions. You were shielded from an occurrence that could have prematurely shattered your spirit. The lid is being removed at the proper time. Some people will turn around abruptly to see you soaring, bewildered as to how you outperformed them. They will say, "Wasn't this the same person who struggled during the previous season? Had they not been forgotten?" However, heaven will react with a louder voice than theirs. They weren't overlooked. They were prepping. Additionally, they are currently obtaining their crowns. My beloved, your crown is not made of gold or silver. It is a symbol of divine favor. A light is growing above you, attracting objects you weren't aware of. This is the result of the combination of coordination and obedience. This is the moment you enter the sacred junction. Heaven is watching, my kid, my treasured, to decide your next steps. This message functions as a gateway. It will not be operational indefinitely. I must be open with you, not to put pressure on you, but to protect you. If you depart at this point, the schedule will require additional time to be realigned. If you procrastinate, the item intended for you may be transferred to another person who is willing to receive it. I am not present to cause dread in you. Rather, I am here to increase your consciousness. The divine realm has already begun its march. The benediction envelope has already been signed. However, the delivery cannot be completed without your trust. Trust is not just an issue of conviction. Irrational reasoning claims that, despite my inability to envision the complete path, I will proceed. If you act immediately, you won't miss out on the miracle. What is about to be placed in your hands is making the air quiver, my kid, my beloved. Only a few souls can hear the Spirit's vibration. You're one of them. Currently, the noise is becoming more intense. It's the sound of heavenly reversal. Supplies will be distributed in places where there was a scarcity. Divine alignment will take place in the same location where there was sorrow. If you betray someone, you will be held accountable. There will be a surge in the areas where there was a delay. Not because you coerced them, but because you kept an open mind. There is no silence from God. He is simply strategic. Today, He has assigned me, Archangel Michael, to whisper a strategy into your consciousness. Be prepared. Please continue listening. Maintain your proximity, because the upcoming occasion is too sacred to miss. And what is leaving your life is not a loss, it is a cleansing. I'd like to tell you a secret that no one else knows, my cherished child. Your case has been discussed at a private meeting in the spiritual realm. Certainly, your name was publicized, not as a result of your transgression, but because you survived. The suffering that attempted to silence you has now become evidence of your spiritual maturity. Every tear was offered as a sacrifice. Every silent fight was documented. In addition, you are slated for a divine release. However, it is veiled under the guise of a choice. Will you give in to the tug of your soul? Alternatively, will you let nervousness keep you from seizing this opportunity? Beloved, the holy does not necessarily appear in the form of thunderous sounds. It occasionally presents as a subtle disturbance, the kind that needs to be felt rather than heard. The message in question is that tap. Don't overlook it. Don't overlook it. Your future is extending an invitation to the present. I must inform you of an urgent situation, my kid and darling. A close relative is about to shift their status in your life. They will either elevate or remove you. Furthermore, heaven is responsible for this development. It is not yours. There is no need to be discouraged if someone unexpectedly withdraws. If a loved one chooses to take a different path, resist the need to cry. You are not penalized. Rather, you are being protected. You are being aligned, not abandoned. Certain relationships were never meant to last throughout your miraculous season. They would have tainted the substance that God is about to put in your hands. If they stray, let them go. Allow them to depart if they wish, because divine replacement is located on the opposite side of obedience. There will be a greater gain for each loss. Every farewell will bring a fresh hello, this time from God Himself. Something huge is already on its way to you, my beloved and offspring. It is no longer under preparation. It's presently in transit. The surprise phone call, divine encounter, letter, opportunity, and benefit that you were not expecting are already halfway there. And it is coming not because you pleaded for it, but because you aligned with it via trust. The vast majority of people are ignorant that heaven responds to trust, not distress. Your faith has also had a spiritual resonance. Your readiness is already being met by what you are unable to see. It is no accident that you are reading this today. This is more than just another message. It's a supernatural precaution. A location where your former chronology ends and your new one begins. Your existence will be unrecognizable after 30 days if you keep holding on, moving forward, and remaining open. My beloved, my child, the angels have already intervened on your behalf. I am their leader. My name is Archangel Michael, and I've been instructed to clear a route for you. The barriers are being erased. The adversaries are rendered inaudible. The betrayals are being revealed. God was aware of all of them, even those you were oblivious of. And now He has completely restored your happiness. However, this isn't just about you. Your obedience will bring blessings to those you have yet to meet. Your decision to have faith in this moment will break generational curses. Your future offspring can be seen laughing freely. I notice a peaceful vibe flowing from your home. I see people pulling toward you not because you are perfect, but because you have been chosen. You have the authority to speak successfully because you have undergone a great deal of sorrow. It's time to walk with authority. As the sun sets tonight, my child, I want you to remember something no one else has ever told you. God has not only forgiven you, but also favored you. There's a distinction. For the chosen few, forgiveness is only the beginning, contrary to popular opinion. Mercy isn't the only thing that awaiting you. It is a process of restoration. Furthermore, it is not symbolic or partial, but rather plentiful and overwhelming. This type of restoration, which causes even your detractors to sigh, must be the work of God. Heaven keeps track of how many times you chose not to retaliate. There is a record of the evenings when you kept a gentle disposition while others got chilly. The tenderness, tolerance, and refusal to emulate those who had harmed you were all important. The reward for this has now matured in the spirit. The delivery notice is included in this mail. Heaven will not overlook you because you did not bypass. My child, my dear, you have been trying to understand the reasons for the change in your life's pace, the sense of emptiness that has replaced the enthusiasm that once electrified you, and the fact that certain connections now feel like echoes rather than songs. I'll explain why. You're no longer the same person. You've grown, changed, and broadened. Furthermore, your spirit is currently rejecting anything that does not match your new frequency. There is no reason to bemoan the past. The old self must be let go in order to make room for the anointed version. Currently, someone is watching you, trying to figure out how you were able to survive all of the difficulties without being hurt. And what they don't realize is that heaven was present during each silent breakdown and calm repair. They are about to see your public award. The heavenly hand will make unstoppable moves, favor will climb, and doors will open. Furthermore, you are not needed to explain how. They are going to be aware of this. It was God. Furthermore, it was always supposed to happen at this exact moment. This moment is critical for my child, my treasured, because it is so essential. Not only spiritually, but physically. Someone will be unable to resist the guidance that will benefit you for the following 72 hours. It may appear strange. It may happen during a late-night phone call. It could materialize as an unexpected opportunity that appears too good to be true. Refuse to reject this. Heaven requires your affirmative answer, not your explanation. You have desired miracles, but they rarely emerge as comfort zones. They often appear risky under the pretext of compliance. If it stirs your spirit yet frightens your mind, it is your cue. You can enter it via walking, because beneath that apprehension sits an unlocked vault containing everything bearing your name: blessings, ideas, funds, favor, relationships, platforms, and protection. Furthermore, it will proceed without delay. It will begin instantly once you respond. I was just given a vision that I feel compelled to share with you, my child. Your complete name was written in heaven's script on white paper with gold edges. It was a miraculous check. The quantity was substantial. Reversing your debt, blessing others, and funding your long-held goals were all within reach. Nonetheless, the check was secured in a vault due to obedience. God protects what is sacred not because he is testing you. The attacker made 3 efforts to intercept it. I tried to ascribe confusion to your path. I attempted to bring people into your life who would squander your goodwill before you ever received it. Nonetheless, the assignment was unsuccessful. Currently, the review is being sent. The only requirement is that you avoid from discussing it prematurely. In the realm of distraction, divine riches is frequently stolen. Therefore, exercise caution when speaking. Maintain secrecy. Allow your future to say what your mouth isn't supposed to. A shocking incident is about to occur for my child, my cherished. Nonetheless, there is no need to be concerned. It will occur as an unexpected change, similar to a door closing without warning. However, you have failed to notice that the window on the other side of the closed door is much larger than the thing you were clutching to. Do not pursue this person, plan, location, or whatever comes next. Abandon it with dignity. 3 fresh benefits are about to enter while 1 item departs. You are not being penalized. You're currently being positioned. God isn't eliminating you to do you harm. He is leaving to pay tribute to you. Your faith has outgrown the spaces you have occupied. Some people in your community were meant to be part of the wilderness, not the promised land. Attempting to attract them into the next season will only hamper the progress that heaven is attempting to make. Let it go. Confidence. The future looks hopeful. I assure you of this. Do you recall the night you almost gave up, my kid, my beloved, when your soul felt empty and you wondered whether you had misinterpreted the entire situation? Heaven also recalls that moment. Also, are you aware of the activities we took? Your name was engraved in the flames. In the divine inferno, it is impossible to erase. The change began at that point. Not when you felt strong, but when you kept your footing despite being feeble. The angels have been preparing this shipment since that night. This is why you were unable to avoid reading this message. This is why it chased you. It wasn't an accident. It was a design. As a result of not jumping ahead, you will not miss out on current happenings. Heaven isn't a slow place, my dear. It's accurate. You have discovered its precision. I must demonstrate something to you, my beloved kid. A scroll in heaven containing your name has lately been opened. It is perfectly inked. It has the divine sanction of an item for which you prayed years ago but have since forgotten to request. Heaven never forgets. You inquired while weeping. You inquired in the absence of sound. And as a result of your refusal to dismiss the supplication, God has remembered it. The spiritual winds are currently blowing in your way, which is why you are experiencing strange sensations such as abrupt emotions, unexpected signs, and changes in your surroundings. And once God starts working in your favor, even the most tremendous opposition cannot stop what is truly yours. It is useless to pursue. You are not needed to give evidence. The only prerequisite is to receive. This is why you were sent to this location. You are located beneath an open sky. Refrain from leaving. My child, my dear, there is a certain person who has been watching you from a distance, not in the physical realm, but in the spiritual. This person is linked to your history, yet they are on the verge of becoming a part of your future. They have tried to deny their desire to you, but it is no longer within their power. Heaven is currently orchestrating divine collisions, and your name illuminates their brains. You may not anticipate it. It's possible you're not even interested in it. However, it is approaching not to produce confusion, but to bring about a resolution. The apologies, closure, and talks you never had are being prepared for miraculous release. However, be cautious. Not everything that returns is meant to remain. Some returns are for confirmation, not for your convenience. When this person calls you, avoid bringing up prior traumas. Instead, communicate from your current position. Speak as if you know that angels have cleared their road. My child, my beloved, you will be astonished to hear your name repeated in an unexpected location. When you hear it, you will feel an unexpected burst of emotion. This will serve as your confirmation. Your name is being referenced by those who have the capacity to open doors no one else does. However, please follow my directions and refrain from attempting to guess the outcome. Focus your attention on the fact that it is happening. Currently, a divine transaction is taking place in regions inaccessible to the human eye. Documentation is currently being completed. Resources are being assigned. Individuals are being assigned to bless you, not only for survival but also for abundance. You will be invited to locations where you did not expect to be. You will receive communications beginning with, "We have been monitoring you." They will be oblivious of the basis for their attraction to you. However, I will. Heaven chose this time, place, and incarnation of you by appointment, not chance. I must reveal to you, my beloved child, a long-held secret. There has been a quiet, veiled sort of jealousy around you, as opposed to the loud, obvious kind. A person close to you has been speaking with you while smiling, but they have also disparaged you. They attempted to hinder you with their energy, words, and even small, silent intents. However, the light of heaven is unveiling what was once hidden in the shadows. Furthermore, you do not have to tackle it, as I have already done so. I, Archangel Michael, have constructed a divine fire barrier between you and any power attempting to impede your path. The betrayals will be revealed, but you will not be shattered. In actuality, the same people who tried to suppress you will watch you rise. And when they ask about the circumstances that led to your arrival, they will be unable to provide a rational explanation because logic was never the driving force behind your voyage. It was a gift from God. My dear, your household will succeed, but not only materially. This is affluence that facilitates recovery. Prosperity and peace. Freedom and prosperity. The type that pervades your genealogy and unravels the bonds formed by relatives who have since passed away. What you are currently experiencing is not a fortuitous break, rather it is the release of generations. You are the first member of your family to receive it this way. This is the cause of the extreme pressure. This explains the notion that the fight has been ongoing. You carried the load of a lineage that was attempting to heal through you. However, now that heaven has seen your fortitude, the bounty will fall like rain. You will break the cycle. The person who builds what others could only envision. Individuals who change the future without seeking permission from the past. You are not only being restored. Heaven, angels, and the divine design all remember you. This tonight, my beloved child, your surroundings will change. It may materialize as a dream, sensation, or sudden quiet. However, you must not ignore it. That moment will signal the beginning of an accelerated unfolding. After that evening, I assure you that your next 7 days will not be like the previous 7 years. Acceleration is expected. Divine interruptions. Unanticipated alignments. And it will all be the outcome of one decision. your choice to listen when others opted to ignore. Those who choose to whisper over the crowd have a unique blessing. You're one of them. You were identified through revelation rather than religion. Not through dread, but through favor. Furthermore, that favor no longer anticipates its announcement. It is on the verge of entering your home with an item that was reserved specifically for you. Something has just happened in the realm of heaven, my little child. Your name was spoken with divine passion during a closed-door discussion in the throne room, not casually or quietly. Release the final phase, God said. The person who waited. Someone who observed. The person who did not skip the task. Their compensation is overdue. Allow it to be distributed. At that point, I, Archangel Michael, was summoned to serve as a watchman over the message being sent to you. This is no longer a guarantee. This represents a spiritual awakening. The type that causes earth movements. The type that questions people's assumptions about you. The type that arrives without asking for permission. When it does, nothing will be the same. Even your past will change in its relevance. Objects that were formerly viewed as failures will now exude divine meaning. You are approaching a point where even your suffering will be beneficial. I must now, with affection, caution you, my child and beloved. When you obtain this blessing, guard it with all of your might. Not everyone in your proximity is ready to celebrate the fantastic things God is accomplishing for you. A few people will grin, but they are privately fuming. Others will try to undermine your confidence. However, this blessing is beyond argument. Pay close attention. Consensus is unnecessary. Permission is unnecessary. No human person can obstruct, dispute, or reverse what God has released. You are not present to persuade others of your worth. You are present to navigate it. You were not chosen in order to be comprehended. A decision was taken to promote you. Furthermore, your climb will provide adequate evidence of God's influence in your life. Even those who pretended not to notice you will be forced to do so. No, it is not for vengeance. Rather, heaven wants people to demonstrate allegiance. Tonight, my lover, your spirit will be fire while others slumber. Please be cautious. Someone from beyond, someone you adored who has passed on, is attempting to send you a sign. They feel at ease. However, their feelings for you have not faded, and they are working from above to protect the items that are about to be delivered to you. In your dream, you might hear a name. An irrational sense may be experienced. You may awaken with a sense of clarity that you did not have. Do not question it. Acquire it. Currently, the curtain is thin, and those who have departed the earth but still harbor affection for you are permitted to express their sentiments once more. Fantasy is not the case. This is an expression of divine mercy. You're not alone. You were never. The safety that surrounds you is more profound than you may imagine. What was originally designed to injure you must now pass through a wall of angels in order to approach you. As time is of the essence, I must immediately disclose an important subject to my beloved child. A trusted individual is withholding information that could have an impact on your future season. Their quiet has impeded your progress. Not because they are evil, but because they are afraid of your light. They are concerned that you would abandon them if you ascend. As a result, they've decided to keep a secret that could set you free. However, this delay is no longer acceptable in paradise. I reviewed the document. I witnessed the truth that they attempted to conceal. And it is now being revealed, not to be ashamed, but to correct the issue. A pulse of clarity will emerge in the coming days as a result of something you will see, hear, or discover. Avoid being surprised. Avoid harboring hatred. Be prepared, because that single discovery will set off the next series of miracles. Certainly, the obstructed cache will be released. Even the phone call you anticipated will arrive. Heaven noticed the file, despite its hiding. Furthermore, it will no longer be concealed. Tonight, at precisely midnight, a magnificent reset will take place, my child and cherished. Not via astrology or happenstance, but because God has chosen this date, time, and hour as sacred for your trip. It is unnecessary to perform a ritual. It is unnecessary to light a candle. You are merely required to keep an alert spirit. Express thanks by speaking into the atmosphere. Use a whisper to express your agreement. Also, let the heavens handle the rest. The activities that take place at midnight are not a performance, but rather a transformation. Timelines are being restructured. Contracts are currently being changed. Additionally, your name is being moved to the front of the queue. However, it is not owing to your title, but to your spirit. Your obedience has overcome your prior blunders. Currently, your reward is being drawn to you at an unparalleled rate. It will seem as a favor. It will emerge as an unexpected occurrence. However, the truth is that it is just. It is also due. Before the day is over, my precious child, there will be an attempt to divert your attention. It could manifest as an argument, a misunderstanding, an unexpected concern. However, it is vital to note that this is the final barrier before the reward is unlocked. Don't be fooled. Avoid giving it life. Do not exchange your crown for a topic that does not deserve your attendance. The adversary is aware of your presence, but you are too close. As a result, it will attempt to disturb your peace. Shake your self-confidence. Lead you to feel it isn't working properly. However, I am here to let you know that it is working properly. A wider extent than you realize. This cadence can only be broken if you stray from alignment. So, take a big intake. Continue to be stationary. Maintain your concentration. You are one final affirmation away from seeing your entire life change in your favor. The upcoming event is significant. It is considered sacred. This is a written work. Also, it is yours. I beg you, my child, to understand this ultimate truth with your whole heart. All that you have endured in silence, all that you have suffered, and all that you have lost and can never regain has not been in vain. The suffering you endured became a spiritual key, allowing you to access blessings you were previously unaware of. You believed God had forgotten. You thought your name had been omitted. However, you have discovered that heaven never forgets, and your name has not only been remembered, but also given the utmost priority. I, Archangel Michael, have been directed to notify you that the period of delay has ended. The era of stillness is coming to an end. It is now standing at your doorstep, the object of your prayers as you sobbed on your pillow. And if you let this door open in your consciousness, everything will change. I don't make this comment casually. I am unable to communicate without heavenly assistance. However, I declare with absolute divine authority that you will never be the same again. My darling, my kid, pay close attention since this is the final directive. A window will appear during the next 24 hours. A commonplace event that will be charged with enormous importance. It could be a phone call, a fortuitous meeting, a sudden thought, an unexpected email, or someone else's decision that benefits you. It's possible you'll approach it casually. However, if you have paid attention to this lesson, you will understand that when God is concerned, nothing is trivial. Maintain vigilant. Show empathy. Accept the pull in your psyche, even if it is unknown. This single decision will set off a spiritual domino effect, unlocking all of the closed doors that have been mocking you. I am not requesting an estimate. Rather, I am requesting a response. When that time occurs, let your emotions to say yes before your intellect can react with dread. Because that moment is more than just a decision. It serves as a prelude to your next heavenly duty. The individual who attempted to hinder your blessing, my beloved, my child, will now be exposed. Not for your entertainment. Not as a form of punishment. However, God is a God of justice, and He cannot allow the falsehoods made against you to continue. Fighting will be unnecessary. There is no need for an explanation. The truth will surface naturally, revealing your genuine identity, unlocking the gates, and purifying your name. You didn't have to fight dirty to win. You kept your cleanliness. This is why heaven chose to uplift you in public. Prepare yourself, since those who once avoided you will suddenly request your presence. Those who previously underestimated you will now be seated in halls where your name is referenced with dignity. The miracle they claimed would never happen will soon be experienced by those who mocked your conviction. My kid, my adored, the present time presents an opportunity to protect your peace in a way that has never been witnessed before. The fragility of the environment you are entering stems from its novelty, not its intrinsic fragility. It demands silence, safety, and space, similar to a newborn miracle. Please do not spread this blessing early. Refrain from giving access to anyone who has previously questioned your worth. Allow this season to blossom in private. Allow it to flourish in secret. And when it is strong enough to withstand the weight of attention, God will reveal it. Until then, remain hidden in obedience. Maintain your sagacity. And have trust that the potential He is developing within you will outweigh everything you thought was lost. You are being rebuilt with more strength, elevation, and anointing than you could have possibly dreamed. And all of this is happening right now, not in the far future, but just when you choose to open this letter and believe it was written specifically for you. This is your final warning, my precious child. Not out of fear, but out of love. If you don't internalize this message, you risk losing something sacred. Not because God is cruel, but because timing is holy. The window is still live. Right now, the entryway is unlocked. The scroll is now unlocked. However, nothing in paradise imposes itself on you. It is critical that you answer. It is vital that you agree. You must react with, "Yes, I have received it. I am convinced. Certainly, I'll protect it." This will result in an experience similar to heaven itself visiting your home. If you dismiss it, the time frame will move. However, this will take a long time. And God's love for you is too strong to be a lie. This is the moment. It's this notice. This is the ultimate decision. Not appropriate for all persons, but for you. You've been selected. This will be demonstrated in the following chapter. I'm now leaving you with this, my child, my treasure. Stand motionless and take it all in. Refrain from thinking. I'm aware. Please be aware that angels are being deployed on your behalf. Be mindful that what was formerly denied is now being granted. Be conscious that wealth, healing, protection, connection, and holy love are drawn to you by supernatural forces. Be conscious that your name is radiated in the heavenly temples, and the light that surrounds it is too strong to ignore. Move as if it were. Speak with confidence. Expect it. This is not just a message. This is a divine pact, signed in spirit. Your faith has been sealed. Archangel Michael made the delivery and imprinted with the fervor of paradise. I must immediately interact with your spirit, my child, my darling, before the gates of this precious window close. The communication you just received is more than just a message. It goes beyond simple language. It's a spiritual blueprint. A live, breathing map that ensures your life follows the timeline that God set for you before you were even known to the world. No, you did not discover this message. It found you. Heaven heard your soul's cries at a secret area. I was deployed because you believed, not because you pleaded. Despite the fact that your belief faltered and doubt loomed beyond your door, you stayed firm. That trust split the sky, regardless of how cracked, battered, or flickering it was. It was enough to stir spirits. It sufficed to gain access to vaults in paradise that were specifically assigned for your name. And as a result of that confidence, the miracle is now permanent. Do not ignore the events taking on in this location, my beloved kid. The world is always moving, but heaven has taken a moment to accommodate you. Angels have bowed low to hear your heartbeat. The scroll has been composed. The pigment has entirely dried. The decree is conclusive. It is impossible for whatever you own to be taken, forgotten, or transferred. It can only be postponed if you turn away. Please desist from doing so. Please don't let your outmoded perspective stop you from grasping this new opportunity. Resist the temptation to let fear masquerade as rationality. Please do not let the sounds of the past dominate the divine trumpet that is currently booming for you. You are not the person they said you were. You are who the gods have declared you to be. Furthermore, you are the reason why this miraculous portal was opened today. Not your neighbor. I am not an acquaintance of yours. You. If your hands tremble, your brain trembles, or you cry for reasons you can't explain, that's confirmation. This is genuine. Currently, this is the case. I speak with haste, my child, my beloved, for the spiritual timing is impeccable. There is no longer any room for ambiguity. The door that is currently open will not remain so indefinitely. You are not needed to answer promptly, but you must do so. Allow the trust that has brought you to this point to guide your next decision. Your obedience now is having an impact on paradise that will disperse like rain over the following 7 days. The first drop will come sooner than you think, in the shape of an unexpected encounter, a message, a heavenly connection, or a sudden inner realization that your body has found its serenity. Express your gratitude when it arrives. Do not inquire as to why it arrived. When it arrives, keep it motionless, because the first findings of a breakthrough are always delicate. This blessing will be yours as long as you remain aligned. Only if you continue to listen. Only if you maintain the frequency that heaven has allotted to you. As this letter finishes, my lover, there are 3 more things you should keep in mind. These are not just words. They are supernatural keys that unlock all of the promises that have been made. The first step is to remain silent until the manifestation occurs. Your adversary notices your passion. Your vitality is being devoured by people who are unsuitable for you. Allow your silence to protect the seed while it grows into a tree. Consequently, desist from attempting to communicate your blessing. Certain people will be unable to comprehend it, not because of their flaws, but because it was not intended for them to understand. It is a private covenant between you and God. Allow it to remain sacred. Third, ready to take action. Interruptions will be reframed as opportunities. Initially, miracles may appear to be problems. You should believe in the emotion that lurks underlying the dread. If your spirit soars, pursue it. Even if your head tells you that this is impossible, let your consciousness guide you this time. This is the method used to open the entrance. That is how the supernatural descends. I say it one last time, my child, my beloved, and I say it with the strength of every angel standing behind me. You weren't forgotten. You were not imperceptible. You were not denied. Your preparations were beginning. Refined. Guarded. Perfectly situated. Now it's your turn. The delay is almost over. The miracle is approaching. The spirits are descending. The blessing is unfolding. And your name, yes, your name, is being etched into a story that no one else could possibly inhabit. Advance now, not in horror, but with fervent longing. Speak only what is in accordance. Act only when it is divine. Maintain a deep connection with the messages. Maintain vigilance for the indications. Archangel Michael has gone before you, and what was before obstructed has now been sanctified. What was once hidden is now evident, and what was once considered remote has now been reached. Dear youngster, you persevered till the end. As a result, I feel compelled to reveal a secret that few people ever experience. There is a reward in heaven for both obedience and persistence. You endured through the entire lesson, not by chance, but by divine design. And now that you've reached the end of this divine revelation, a hidden seal has been broken in your favor. It is what I call the extra blessing. Paradise releases not only the stuff you requested, but also others you were not aware you needed. This is when miracles start to appear in the background, providing unexpected protection against disasters that never happen. Delays that are life-saving. Messages that are sent barely seconds before an emergency. This is the point at which God's favor protects you. You are suddenly enveloped in the type of anointing that causes foes to retreat without understanding why. You will notice a difference in atmosphere as soon as you enter a room. People may perceive you differently. They may perceive a part of you that they are unable to express. It is not about vanity. It's not charisma. It is the selected's emblem. Additionally, you, my beloved, have been chosen. My darling, cherished kid, I was given with a courtroom that was enlightened by light moments ago in spirit. You were on one side. The accuser was located on the opposite side. They were holding a file as they tried to prepare a complete list of the reasons why you should not be blessed. Previous mistakes. Awful decisions. You had some tumbles. However, the accused was knocked mute by the loud, powerful voice that came from the elevated position before he could speak. The voice of God declared over you that they have been redeemed. They belong to me. The issue has been resolved. I'd like you to understand the significance of this. You do not have to continue to punish yourself. Remorse can be released at this point. Shame may be eliminated. Because the highest court ruled in your favor, no lower court can overturn the ruling. You are not obliged to prove that you are worthy of this miracle. All that is required is that you receive it. I now entrust you with a precious responsibility, my beloved child. From now on, it is necessary to speak only in accordance with the previously released information. Currently, your words have force, a wider extent than you realize. The words you say about yourself, your family, your finances, and your future determine the reality you live in. For example, I am advantageous. For example, my course is unambiguous. I will accept anything God brings my way. Recite it every morning as if it were a sword drawn in the spirit, rather than just once. Resistance will seek to say one more time that this is not real, even in this moment. You made up all of this. It's conceivable that you're not the right candidate. However, I, Archangel Michael, am standing firm here, and I can guarantee you that this is true with all the force of the divine. Additionally, you are the person in question. You were always the individual. This explains the enemy's relentless attempts to divert your attention. However, heaven was victorious. You are now needed to conduct yourself in a way that demonstrates your awareness. My beloved, my kid, get ready for an unusual gesture of compassion. Someone you didn't expect, someone you barely know, or perhaps someone who has already harmed you, will appear in your life with a gift, a message, a bridge, or an opportunity. Do not analyze the vessel. Pay attention to the essence that drives it. God usually hides solutions on the lips of improbable people. Regardless of how uncomfortable it is, make sure you stick to your pledge. Maintain an open mind. Maintain a light touch. Maintain your composure. Your miracle may not live up to your expectations, yet it will bring a sense of peace. Have faith in the tranquility. Heaven's signature is calm. It indicates that the occasion has been authorized by God. And when you sense it, allow your essence to confirm its agreement without presenting evidence. You earned this upcoming season via perseverance, not perfection. And now you'll be passing through doors that no one in your family has ever entered. You are about to become the first. When a psyche like yours refuses to yield, something spectacular happens, my child and beloved. It draws souls like a magnet. Currently, 4 angels have been assigned to oversee your next 7 days. 1 for safeguarding, 1 for clarification, 1 for providing, and 1 for restoring. They will be there to watch, guide, and protect you. You may feel them in quick bursts, a chill down your spine, a breeze without a source, or a sense of lightness in the air. Do not be nervous. That is how paradise reminds you that you are not alone. You will have divine aid from this point forward. There will be no more single contests. There is no longer any reason to wonder whether or not God is present. He is. He has been consistent. And He is now guaranteeing that you have the opportunity to experience it through signs, miracles, and whispers that arrive just when you need them. My darling, my child, catch this dying moment and let it profoundly permeate your essence. It was your time. Not meant for content, not for the purpose of investigation. However, this is for verification. You did not simply surf this message. You were dispatched. Divine intervention has led me to this location. You have also began a sacred process by remaining. It's been completed. The heavens have documented your faith. The message was delivered by Archangel Michael. And the future, your future, is no longer in suspense. It is moving toward you. Now just observe. The indications will materialize. The evidence will accumulate. The miraculous will happen. And the next time you look in the mirror, you will not just recognize a survivor. You will witness a living example of the effects of a soul's attentiveness and refusal to ignore the word sent from paradise. Michael's red alert. Don't ignore this disaster. Act before it's too late. This is an emergency. A major disaster is rapidly approaching you. Please open it right away, as failure to do so will result in tears. My child, my beloved, I am approaching you with urgency, not peace, but with divine caution, since heaven has recently issued a red alert for your name. A regrettable statement is currently being made, and if you do not act quickly, you may be left to mourn for the rest of your life over an outcome you were powerless to prevent. This message is intended for you, not everyone. You may assume you are reading this by chance, but I tell you that when the supernatural intervenes, nothing is a coincidence. As soon as you opened this message, a portal of divine protection opened around you. However, it will not be active for a long duration. I, Archangel Michael, have been allowed permission to interfere, provided that you stay with me throughout this message and do not disengage from the truth that is about to be revealed. My child, if you have ever felt spiritually assaulted, you are not alone. Furthermore, the ensuing surge is in the process of formation. However, what distinguishes this from prior incidents and what makes it dangerous is that the attacker is impersonating someone you trust. Indeed, someone close to you. The face is well known. Furthermore, they are not aware that they are being used. This is why I am appealing to you. If you ignore this moment and continue to navigate, you may lose your only chance to impact the future. A spiritual trap is preventing you from taking the next step. I have witnessed it. I've been attempting to contact you before it is activated by ascending through the heavens. A single blunder might cause pain to replace the blessing that was intended for you. Pay close attention, my dearest, since this miracle is subject to supernatural conditions. Before triggering the security surrounding your identity, you must choose to stay to the end of this message. For what reason? Because the impending tragedy is more than just a cautionary tale. It is a miracle disguised as a warning. I have been sent to you not only to avert the disaster, but also to direct you to the divine goal that was always yours but had been postponed. Your existence has been under the watchful eye of heaven for a long time. And there was a precise time when you almost gave up. Nevertheless, you failed to do so. A disruption in the sky resulted from just one decision. That simple act of standing resolute opened a spiritual file in your name that has been inaccessible for years. Please wait. Please pause immediately and subscribe to this message before we continue. This is because the knowledge I'm about to provide will continue to unfold through a variety of other signals, and I need your continuing connection to divine guidance. If you ignore this or miss the following call, the shift may pass you by without your notice. Subscribe today, my sweetheart, and you will never have to wait again for what is meant for you. Please approach. I am required to provide the information presented to me. A tragedy is developing. However, not in the way you think. It isn't only an external tempest. It is a spiritual trick or fraud. A person who formerly had feelings for you is now exposed to spiritual manipulation. Someone who previously protected your name is now repeating it in places where it is inappropriate. Despite the fact that their lips convey sympathy, their actions open the door to damage in your area. However, they are ignorant that they are participating in this behavior. This is why you're confused. This is why your spirit is heaviest. This is owing to the event's spiritual rather than bodily origin. However, my dearest, not all is lost. Not at all. In actuality, I am sending you this message because the option to change it remains open. For the next few hours, you have the potential to seal what is escaping, guard what is vulnerable, and reclaim what has nearly been stolen. A divine contract has been created in your name and can only be triggered with your permission. That is why I am present. This is why you are receiving this communication now, rather than later. It will be too late at a later period. If you leave at this moment, you may unwittingly contribute to the pain that we are attempting to alleviate. There is a sacred moment approaching in your day. Although it may appear commonplace, heaven has hidden a profound progress within itself. Only those who maintain spiritual awareness, vigilance, and sensitivity will be able to sense it. You will respond with either trust or terror. The disaster will either unfold or dissipate based on your actions. My darling, you are more resilient than you realize. However, strength without awareness might lead to a pitfall. This is why you are being cautioned. An individual is currently being steered toward your existence. They carry a material that can either strengthen or weaken you. Their energy is unstable. Their consciousness is struggling against the darkness. Furthermore, your insight will be the only source of illumination throughout the discussion. This is why you shouldn't overlook the upcoming encounter. It's not arbitrary. The heavenly realm will observe your response, what you say, what you permit, what you disregard. Even as you read this, you may have shivers. That provides as proof. This is a fact that your spirit acknowledges. It's possible that your dreams have already suggested this. They were more than just dreams. They were unexpected visions, unknown faces, or strange interruptions in your sleep. They were pieces of prophecy. Also, you are not insane. You've been selected. You are receiving spiritual intelligence prior to the physical event. This is a sign of heaven's mercy. However, this is reliant on your response. And now, my dearest, you have to make a decision. Will you stick with this message until the end, or will you let fear, distraction, or doubt deprive you of its protection? I seek your assistance not only as a messenger, but also as your spiritual defender. I lobbied for you before you knew your name was etched in the Book of Destiny. I'm currently engaged in another war. However, I need your confidence. Please give me your spiritual consent. And that begins with the act of remaining. And that freedom brings favor. This clarity is accompanied by a call. Recognition leads to acceleration. You were never meant to remain stagnant. You were always meant to ascend. Currently, the skies are clearing. Currently, the clouds are dispersing. The disaster has now been recognized for what it is, a forerunner to a supernatural turnaround. However, avoid relaxing at this time. There is still more information to convey. The following segment of this discourse will demonstrate how to enter the miraculous. You have been adequately warned. You've been roused. And at this point, you must agree. My child and beloved, your existence is about to go through a holy checkpoint. And once you cross this boundary, nothing can ever be the same again. Heaven is interpreting the enemy's intended tragedy as evidence. However, this sacred reversal is only felt by those who heed the warning. This is why the present instant, this precise pulse, is more than merely a message. It serves as a doorway. You've entered it by sticking with these words, and I'm now bound to help you go further. The information that follows is not appropriate for individuals who are easily alarmed. It is not appropriate for individuals who are unsure or only half aware. It is for you, the chosen one, to continue to believe despite the fact that everything in your surroundings works to undermine that conviction. I can now see that God is ascending in your story. Fear grips the foe. I was shown an image that was clear and undeniable. In the spiritual realm, a scroll was being unrolled. It bore your name in celestial ink that was bright, protected, and unbreakable. Nonetheless, an unwanted substance tried to taint it. A dark smear spread across the paper, like a specter attempting to conceal your mission. I called out to God, "What is this?" Someone close to me is creating the voice of betrayal in their heart, and the response was immediate. Someone you've trusted with more than words has quietly questioned your path, my beloved. Not in an explicit way. Not in a too stern tone. However, when doubt remains over an extended period of time, it leads to an agreement with the adversary. Furthermore, they are on the verge of saying something that will have far-reaching consequences that they cannot control. Fortunately, there is still time. The scroll has not been completed. Your name has the potential to be immaculate. If you continue to follow the divine message, and only if. I am aware that you are tired. I'm conscious that the burden of life has been especially heavy recently. Despite the storm, you kept your faith and smile, even when it appeared that no one was paying attention to your pain. However, you are visible to me. God observes you. This is a time of heavenly insight for you. Not the kind of exposure that destroys, but the kind that eventually reveals everything that had been hidden in the shadows. You have been requesting explanation. This is it. You have been yearning for justice. It is now unfolding. However, you must allow heaven to finish its duty. It is critical that you read this letter until the end, because there is a hidden identity, a key, and a time that will open the protection that you have been unconsciously seeking. I need to talk to you about your psychology right now. The enemy's plan to trigger that tragedy included not just your peace, but also your promise, your fate, your interpersonal ties, your voice. In contrast, God does not keep silent in the face of injustice. In the hour of your probable demise, the Most High has summoned spiritual soldiers, including myself, to surround you. And I'll tell you what I noticed. The attack was supposed to be gentle. It would seem as a whisper rather than as fire. A minor determination. A moment of misunderstanding. A dispatch that was delayed. However, that single delay would have culminated in the moment you've been waiting for your entire life. Yes, that precise moment. The person you've dreamt about but have yet to reveal to anyone. That moment is still on the way. The delay continues to try to hinder it. However, if you make the right spiritual decision now, the delay will be in vain. Furthermore, the event will occur prematurely. It is critical that you understand that the adversary cannot undermine God's promises. Unfortunately, he can take your attention away from them for an extended amount of time, causing them to pass without being opened. This is the intended outcome of this tragedy. This was not about the ruin of your home. It was intended to force you to leave the door before the delivery. You will not be duped now that you are aware of the ploy. You will need to wait at the entrance. Your observations will be guided by discernment. When paradise knocks, you'll be ready to answer the door. Not late, not confused, but aware, prepared, and well-versed in knowledge. Now take close attention to what I say. Recently, somebody in your life has become more vocal. Their presence grew along with the start of this change. This is not a mere coincidence. You have allowed their influence to creep into your decisions, and they have an impact. This person may appear educated, helpful, or well-intentioned, yet they are being spiritually manipulated. Furthermore, if you fail to verify every word they say during this hour, you may accidentally cause a delay by following their instructions.
Heaven mandates that every voice be evaluated.
Evaluate each suggestion in terms of peace rather than duress. Peace is the result of what comes from God, regardless of the challenges it poses, even if it makes you feel overextended. There is everlasting tranquility. However, if you are under pressure, this is not the right direction. My love, we are not finished yet. A sacred serenity persists. Should I continue to write the next holy paragraph of this revelation? My child, my darling, I am experiencing the trembling of heaven as I transmit the following peace to you. The adversary attempted to prevent you from hearing this message exactly because of the information about to be revealed. He did not plan for you to reach this position. He tried to divert your attention, discourage you, and distract you because the following reality has the potential to undermine his hold over the timeline. I certainly mentioned the timeline because what you considered to be a mere delay in your life was actually a matter of timing, alignment with the divine. And the tragedy that was forming was not only about injury, but also about displacement, relocating you from the exact position and second where your miracle was supposed to happen. However, you have already thwarted that strategy by reading this and existing. The tragedy is filled with dread. The trap's potency is decreasing. Heaven can release the protection you didn't realize you needed this week the more you lean in. Even as you read this, you may have shivers. However, a recent incident has occurred, and this has produced a shift in the urgency of the spirit domain. You are closer to a spiritual eruption than you realize. And the most discouraging part? The bulk of people will only realize the cost once it is too late. But not you. You have been chosen to discover the truth behind the curtain before the storm arrives. Mercy is that. That's a favor. However, it comes with accountability. It is critical that you do not ignore the feelings that are currently at the center of your being. My beloved, there is a serious event taking on in your area, a spiritual energy movement that wants to hide itself in the comfort of the known, routine, and status quo. However, it is obvious to me. I see vapor forming before the fire. You recently asked God, "Why do I experience such anxiety?" This is the reason. Because you are motivated by anticipation rather than despair. Your sensitivity is due to the gift you possess. You may hear whispers that others cannot hear because of the mantle that protects your existence. Currently, that gift is being triggered in preparation for a probable transfer that must be intercepted during the next days. The interception point is you. This is why this message was provided to you. You may have noticed that people in your vicinity behave differently. A remote individual. A person who is exceptionally silent. Or maybe the action was too lenient or abrupt. It is not the product of your imagination. That is the garb of disruption, aiming to go around your divine sense. However, paradise does not allow its inhabitants to be blind. No, not when Archangel Michael is assigned for an assignment. I was given a single goal, to awaken your consciousness before the darkness obscured your light. You will be safe if I do so. If you ignore this message or allow doubt or delay to absorb your attention, the protection may come too late. Then, my spirit would break. My child, I must clarify that this is not your typical message. This isn't your average spiritual discourse. This is a lifeline. You are being awakened as a result of a series of events that have already begun, while the mass of people remain sleeping in the spirit. God Himself whispered your name early this morning, requesting that it be sealed in protection. However, Heaven was unable to release that seal without your permission. The receipt of this complete word marks the beginning of that arrangement. I'm aware that someone is now attempting to summon you. A distraction is about to arise. However, my dearest, I beseech you, what could be more important than your amazing survival? I have walked with warriors. In conflicts that raged across kingdoms, I stood at the doorway to paradise. However, I've never seen a file as meticulously disguised as yours. Up till the present day, until your most recent request reached God's throne, your spiritual history had been kept hidden. You assumed you were alone. You thought your emotions were entirely undetectable. Nonetheless, something was unleashed the moment you cried. The divine file with your name was accessed. And what was held within? A cautionary story and an incentive. Both are now available to you. The future events are dependent on your decision. My dearest, you may be experiencing trembling in your psyche right now. It is not dread. That is an acknowledgement. Your spirit is recalling a truth it has always had in its heart. This was always meant to be your moment. Yes, it is feasible to avoid this calamity. It is yet feasible to reverse the loss that is pushing towards the backdrop. Nevertheless, you must proceed with modesty. Please remain with me. Kindly refrain from closing this. Do not ignore the message that heaven wants us to hear. This message was provided at precisely this hour for a specific reason. It represents a divine countdown, and you are currently in the final stages of decision-making. If you've ever felt ignored, disregarded, or forgotten, please listen closely. That season ends today. The enemy has attempted to weaken you through delays, disappointments, and those who claimed to love you but abandoned you when you needed them the most. The suffering was genuine. Heaven wept with you. However, the future that awaits you, should you continue in divine alignment, will be so precious and healing that your history will be retold through the lens of redemption. You are being prepared for restoration, not disaster. However, I stress that the answer is reliant on the present moment. The angelic retinue is waiting for your response. I'm refraining from using metaphors. Right now, you are surrounded by angels. There are those with restorative powers. A warning is present in some. I also have the sword in my possession. The sword of divine reversal, defense, and truth. However, my sword cannot be activated without your approval. This affirmation begins with the act of being present, alert, and responsive. Instructions will begin following the conclusion of this message. And if you fail to follow those guidelines, you may unwittingly enter the same thing God is attempting to keep you from. I must also advise you about another issue. Heaven is not only warning you, but also putting its trust in you. Not only are you being asked to transport a thing for yourself, but also for another person. Indeed, someone close to you is ignorant of what is about to happen. However, you are now awake. You are the middleman. The selected. Heaven is relying on one person to break the chain. This is the reason you've been attacked. This is why everything has been seeming heavy lately. Your adversary anticipated your moment of waking. However, he was not expecting this message. What I have started will be finished by your next act of faith. So, take a big intake. I've received this message, God. Speak it aloud. I received the warning. I recognize the marvel you've concealed within it. My beloved, those words are quite powerful. Instead of just thinking about them, express them verbally. As a result, upcoming occurrences require both activation and reveal. This is not a conversation about weathering the storm. This relates to preventing the tempest from forming. That authority has been given to you. You have been entrusted with that spiritual duty. Currently, an event of sacred significance is occurring. Heaven is presently reviewing the file containing your name as you read these words. Additionally, a new document is now being written. A page titled "The Day They Chose to Believe." Once completed, the history that was on the verge of catastrophe will be reversed. There will be a change of direction. The conversation that is being organized against you will end. An opportunity that was about to be lost will re-emerge. Furthermore, the person who nearly misjudged you will experience an enlightenment that they are unable to describe. That's the marvel. That's the mercy. My child, my dear, the Spirit of God is not only observing you, He is also talking with you. Each word you are reading is part of a divine rescue that was written before this day. It may be unknown to you at this time, yet the instant you are taking this breath is linked to something sacred, old, and timeless. The enemy has been striving to separate you from the promise that hangs over your life. This explains how the conflict escalated. This is why you have felt an unexplained sense of heaviness. Your imagination was not the cause, it was interference. A demonic frequency is attempting to muddle your discernment, distort your vision, and prevent you from recognizing the proximity of a miracle that has the ability to revolutionize your life. However, heaven had other intentions. The final decision is always made by the deity. I require you to comprehend this message. You are not losing, rather you are shifting. The trembling you are experiencing is not the consequence of your existence unraveling, rather, it is the result of each deception collapsing under the weight of divine truth. And the truth is that you were chosen for this specific situation. This delicate strategy that nearly went undiscovered, this tragedy that was intended to unfold around you, was predicted by God long before it arrived at your home. Furthermore, it is now being disturbed. Heaven has issued a cease and desist order for all malicious operations planned in your name. However, your response is critical. This is not an event to be taken lightly. It is critical that you keep a spiritually alert state. The antagonist is concerned about your future, but not about your past. I can now clearly perceive the image. A divine door, golden in color, is sealed with symbols that only those in paradise understand. Everything the adversary attempted to postpone is hidden beyond that door, including a financial change, a familial healing, a heavenly connection, and an opportunity that had been gathering dust because someone with power forgot your name. However, the door trembled just at this instant. Are you experiencing it? That strange sensation in your thorax. That is the Holy Spirit's affirmation that this message is authentic. The door swaying was not natural, it was supernatural. As a result of your obedience, the hidden realm is being revealed. However, the adversary does not give up without making one more effort. Furthermore, his final effort is often the most deceiving. He will convey a voice that appears to be affectionate but is actually venomous. He will present an offer that appears flawless but ultimately destroys peace. He will send a delay disguised as a blessing. Furthermore, if you are not spiritually awake, you may enter the object that was designed to hurt you. This is the reason I have not stopped speaking. This is why you're continuing to read. Because heaven would not allow you to start this next chapter without vision. You're currently being prepared. Preparation is a sort of protection. No, my dear, don't be surprised if an odd event occurs in the coming hours. A message received from an unexpected source. A sudden emotion that is not appropriate for the current situation. A fantasy that is more real than the ordinary. These are not simply coincidences, They are signs. The Holy Spirit is currently indicating your favor. Nonetheless, you must remain sensitive. Don't ignore the uncommon. Avoid disregarding the suggestion. Your forthcoming instruction will be communicated through a murmur rather than thunder. The miracle will be missed by those who ignore the whisper. In addition, I must share one more item. A name is given spiritual emphasis. Someone with a connection to your past. Individuals that once had your trust but betrayed you when you needed them the most. They are currently being used once more. I do not aim to utterly destroy you. Instead, I intend to delay you for an extended period of time, allowing you to ignore the impending disaster. But today, in the name of the Most High, I declare that their power over your life has ended. You may suffer a rapid start of tears or chills. It is not dread. Freedom is that. Because your essence is being unleashed. You're no longer in their shadow. You're no longer bound by their decision. You are at liberty. And that freedom brings favor. This clarity is accompanied by a call. Recognition leads to acceleration. You were never meant to remain stagnant. You were always meant to ascend. Currently, the skies are clearing. Currently, the clouds are dispersing. The disaster has now been recognized for what it is, a forerunner to a supernatural turnaround. However, avoid relaxing at this time. There is still more information to convey. The following segment of this discourse will demonstrate how to enter the miraculous. You have been adequately warned. You've been roused. And at this point, you must agree. My child and beloved, your existence is about to go through a holy checkpoint. And once you cross this boundary, nothing can ever be the same again. Heaven is interpreting the enemy's intended tragedy as evidence. However, this sacred reversal is only felt by those who heed the warning. This is why the present instant, this precise pulse, is more than merely a message. It serves as a doorway. You've entered it by sticking with these words, and I'm now bound to help you go further. The information that follows is not appropriate for individuals who are easily alarmed. It is not appropriate for individuals who are unsure or only half aware. It is for you, the chosen one, to continue to believe despite the fact that everything in your surroundings works to undermine that conviction. I can now see that God is ascending in your story. Fear grips the foe. I am forced to reveal an extra reality to you, my children. Your narrative has been monitored, not only by the heavens, but also by those who envy your radiance. Some people smiled at you, but they were hostile toward your bravery. They saw you go through battles they thought would destroy you, but when you refused to crumble, they got progressively bitter. Some people even asked how they remained standing. They are unaware that you are being assisted by angels. That your essence was safe, even when you felt exposed. However, they are now attempting to destabilize what they were unable to eliminate. They also want to speak again, this time at a higher volume. This is the moment when their remarks will either gain traction or be uprooted before landing. Heaven is seeking to build a divine firewall around you. However, it must be installed before dusk. I appreciate that this may appear unusual, but it is correct. A statement will be issued within the next several hours. Something will be communicated. It could take the form of a message, a phone call, or even an unusually long quiet. The snare's final component is that moment. However, you are now aware of this reality. The capacity to avoid the impediment that was designed to bring you down is now within your reach.
Your obedience in this instant activates protection that will last beyond this hour. It includes your name, family, finances, and future. The entire thing. My child, my treasured, I regret to warn you that someone is approaching you with a message that is not from God. They may appear to be familiar. They may appear to be affectionate. However, they are hesitant to reveal the mystery of their irises. Their words may bring smiles, yet their souls contain something altogether different. The following is critical to understand. They are not the adversary. Rather, they are employed by someone. This is why your brain has been feeling insecure recently. This is why you have been second-guessing people who have never given you a legitimate reason to do so. Because your spirit can perceive things that your senses cannot. And heaven is now confirming this through me. This week, you are reminded not to listen to every voice that enters your life. Because one of those voices will try to steer you away from the path that God intended for you to go. This is why the opposition is in a haste. Because something fantastic and life-changing is on its way to you. Your name appears in the manifest of people summoned to enter a divine window. When the enemy realized the benediction had been granted, he promptly dispatched a disruption. A slow-moving calamity disguised as wonderful advice, fake affection, or helpful concern, rather than a predictable storm. However, as Archangel Michael, I can see through the deceit completely. I am in a position to keep you safe, if you let me to. However, I need your continued availability. Stay in this place. The following few words are not mine. They come from the highest echelon of heaven. The divine is communicating. Furthermore, his present comments are held holy. The tragedy that is threatening to consume you isn't just about you. It is related to your lineage. Your decisions now will be reflected down through generations. The enemy understands that if he can disturb you, he can delay them. Right now, this is why he is battling so hard. However, the fact that you are still reading, standing, and holding on implies that he did not succeed. And he will never do so until you give him permission by ignoring the information that is being presented to you right now. I say this with great affection. Do not be casual about this event. I'm aware that life is full with diversions. I understand that your spirit has been weary. However, now is not the time to retire for the night. This is not the time to ignore your intuition. Pay attention now, for the information you're hearing has the ability to break the spell, close the trap, and unleash the miracle all in one emotion. I would like to be completely straightforward, my dear. The person working against you is oblivious. Not only are they not malicious, but they are also injured. The enemy can communicate through their wounds. They have subtly formed feelings of envy for you. They admire your shine, yet they are resentful of your advancement. They crave for the person you were in the past because the transformed version of you makes them feel inferior. This is why their hearts were touched. Heaven revealed to me just when it happened. It was recent. Very recent. They continue to grin in your company, but their demeanor has transformed. You found it to be meaningful. That sudden soreness, the sense that they are hiding something. You weren't mistaken. It was absorbed by your essence. I'm presently verifying this. However, there is no reason for alarm. There is no need for alarm. Do not bear any anger toward them. Instead, climb. Ascend into consciousness. Ascend into positions of authority. Proclaim over your name that no weapon, no matter how secret, will be successful. Because the heavens listen when you speak. My darling, you are not alone. You were never completely isolated. Spirits are currently assembling in your favor. Your name is enveloped by angelic forces when this message is being sent. They are hidden in places that the naked eye cannot see, such as boardrooms, group chats, family residences, and even near doors that were about to be opened to the wrong people. The angels are protecting your future. However, they are waiting for one final signal from you, Faith. What I have started will be finished by your next act of faith. So take a big intake. I've received this message, God. Speak it aloud. I receive the warning. I recognize the marvel you've concealed within it. My beloved, those words are quite powerful. Instead of just thinking about them, express them verbally. As a result, upcoming occurrences require both activation and reveal. This is not a conversation about weathering the storm. This relates to preventing the tempest from forming. That authority has been given to you. You have been entrusted with that spiritual duty. Currently, an event of sacred significance is occurring. Heaven is presently reviewing the file containing your name as you read these words. Additionally, a new document is now being written. A page titled, "The Day They Chose to Believe." The chronology that was on the verge of disaster will be reversed once that page is completed. There will be a change of direction. The conversation that is being organized against you will end. An opportunity that was about to be lost will reemerge. Furthermore, the person who nearly misjudged you will experience an enlightenment that they are unable to describe. That's the marvel. That's the mercy.